Hey, welcome. Can you hear me? Welcome to my life. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to introduce Truth Amplifiers starting today. It is a conversation for creatives who desire to have thriving online businesses without sacrificing creative freedom. I'm so excited to unpack today's conversation. But before we start, while we are waiting for others to join, sit back, relax, and enjoy this beautiful music piece that I'm about to play for you. And share this post, share it on your story. You never can tell who this life is for. Okay, let's take it away. How can I see in the darkness? Look around and all I perceive is a shadow. I want to know what the truth. Take away the veil, let the light shine. To the mountaintop, let it be a sign. Until the night is done, until I see the sun. Take away the veil, let the light shine. To the mountaintop, let it be a sign. Until the night is done, until I see the sun. How can I see in the darkness? Look around and all I perceive is a shadow. I want to know what the truth is, then my heart can be satisfied. Take away the veil, let the light shine. To the mountaintop, let it be a sign. Until the night is done, until I see the sun. Until the night is done, until I see the sun. Whew. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here with me. Myron Golden, I heard this from Myron Golden. Do you know Myron Golden? So he's this business consultant online that I see on YouTube. I watch his videos a lot. He teaches business principles from the Bible. There is something that he says that stands, like, I keep remembering it and he repeats it all the time. He says, we do not have a lack of resource problem. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining. Okay, so what I was saying before, Myron Golden, a business consultant online, he teaches business principles from the Bible. I listen to him a lot. There is something he said that stood out for me. So he said, we do not have a lack of resource problem, but we could have a lack of awareness problem. And after hearing that over and over again and doing my own personal study, I totally agree with him. So, when I hear things like, I don't have a job in this economy, in this age, I think it is a lack of awareness issue. You cannot not have a job. Like, I interviewed two people for my client. No, not two. I interviewed a number of people. We wanted to employ two staff for my client. And when I was interviewing them, some of them were saying, "Oh, I was working here before. I was working here before. I am no longer employed. I'm free to start." No, I don't want you to be unemployed. I want you to be employed, and then I will now employ you and you will change jobs. Because employment is not to help you have something to do. No, no, no. Employment is to ask you, is to engage you to help a company with what you already do. And one of the things I realized in this social media era, the boom of social media, digital economy and all that, is changing trends. Right now, it is better to be a coach that creates content online than to just create content. There's a huge difference. I'm going to talk about that later in detail, but let me quickly get into the subject of today, which is open your eyes. I want to tell you 7 things that could be preventing you from seeing clearly and seeing the opportunities around you, as well as the steps you can take to fix your vision. So let me open my notes here. So based on my notes here, I said at the end of this podcast, the intention for me is I want you, and indeed anybody around you that you speak to, that you want to share this message with, to never say, "I do not have a job anymore." Instead, "I want a better job. I want a better offer. I want to upgrade my status. I want to change my career." You can never be unemployed. Listen, you cannot listen to this podcast and be unemployed. It's impossible, and I'll show you how. I'll show you what is possible for you, hopefully, by the end of this episode. So there's 7 things that can prevent you from seeing clearly. Number 1 is pain and trauma. Whew. Pain. Have you ever had a very painful experience? I remember when a nail pierced I stepped on a nail and it was in the middle of my foot. Just in the middle of my foot is where the nail pierced through, and they had to separate the nail from my leg because I was probably running, so there was a lot of force that it took to step on that nail. When I experienced that accident, I did not think of any other thing but that pain. I wasn't aware that my eye was working correctly, my ears, my nose, every other part of my body was functioning. It felt like nothing is working. Everything is not right. I could not think clearly. So now, it could be physical pain, it could be emotional pain, it could be mental pain. But you see pain, you see trauma. It can prevent you from seeing clearly. And there are certain factors that you can control, and there are certain factors that you cannot control. Depending on the level of power that you wield, depending on the level of power that you've got, your spirits that you have been able to connect with to power your mind. And if you're going through pain today, I pray for healing for you. So I'm going to pause for a moment and say a word of healing. Father, for everyone that is connected to us in this live, you say where 2 or 3 are gathered, you were there. I speak life. I speak the healing that was made possible by the stripes of Christ to speak right now. So whoever you are, wherever you are, I want you to speak to that situation and claim your healing. Now, this doesn't take away from taking medication, because medication can fail if your body does not respond. You're going to speak to your body to respond. So this is the format for your healing prayer. Say, for example, I'm going to use the pain I experienced in my leg. I speak to my leg in the name of Jesus to recover fully and heal completely. Simple. Speak the word. So one of the things that you're going to discover is your words are not random. Your words are creative forces. They activate stuff. So you know how to use it. One of the things I learned from the daily devotional that we read at home today is there are some things that God has given you the power to command. And whenever you say, God, come and do this, God will be looking at you like, oh, poor child. You are so unaware. And when I discovered that about healing, everything changed. Now I could speak to the situation and demand the change that I desire. So if you are going through pain and trauma, I pray for healing for you. Because when you heal and when you recover from that pain, you will see clearly. So that could be preventing you. The number 2 reason that your vision could be impaired, and I'm not talking about your physical vision, but your creative vision, is religious deception. So, we've heard a lot about, religion. I'm not religious. I'm not religious, so I am spiritual. I used to join everyone to say, I'm not religious, I am spiritual, without understanding what it means. But for some reason, we cannot just insist on our spirituality while we have this physical body. We are spirit, soul, and body. At least spirit, soul, and body. Because I feel like we don't like to talk about the heart. The heart is another compartment. We'll talk about it another day. So, I cannot just be spiritual. I'm physical too. But when it comes to religion, my battery is running low. Let me quickly grab my charger. Sorry for that break. Allow me to connect this. I'm so sorry. Okay, I've connected my battery. So when it comes to religion in itself is not bad. It's the deception, what religion can be used for. So finally, I said, no, I'm not going to just stick on this spirituality thing as spiritual, because it's another whole topic. Sometimes it's another deception. So I'm going to focus on, so what is my religion? What do I believe in? Am I going to rely on what someone is telling me, or can I figure it out as well to confirm if what they're saying is true or not? And sometimes religious deception is not because somebody wants to deceive you. This person can be clearly oblivious. They are teaching you what they think is true, but it's not true. Because there is a man, there's a medium, there is a man. So when a man is communicating, some of their beliefs and their ideals will be mixed with the concepts of the faith. So there was a time I deconstructed. I stayed back from church for 11 months. I said, you know what, I'm going to try other religions or something. And finally, if I say I believe in Jesus today, better believe I know why. Not because of something that someone indoctrinated me. So it's good to question your beliefs. It's good to question your beliefs and prove what you were taught to know if it's true. That for me is the only way you can. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this today to be straight because it doesn't look straight now. That's the only way you can escape this religious deception. So religious deception can also be something that people intentionally use religion. Give me a second. So apart from the people that are not aware that they are preaching what is false, or they are teaching what is false, or they are using religion wrongly, there are some people that intentionally use religion to manipulate, indoctrinate, cause people to commit suicide. Because explain to me why people, how somebody can be brainwashed into becoming a suicide bomber. I have the utmost respect for the people that deceive these people to become suicide bombers, and then the people that are willing to give their life for what they believe in. Honestly, I admire them. But, I mean, it's crazy, right? That's deception. That's how powerful religious deception can be. It starts when you were young, you were indoctrinated, you were born into this. I think religion is more like a way of life. It's the culture. Religion is like your culture. It's like a part of you. It's in your DNA. Your parents passed it down to you. Your mind is programmed. So until you question, anyway, I'll come to how you can fix it. But just know that religious indoctrination that is false or deceptive can prevent you from having clear creative vision. Number 3 is miseducation. You know how we talk about religion and we leave school? You see, school is one of the major causes of poor awareness. So the thing is, you could go to school but you're not educated. You could go to school, get a degree, get a certificate, but you are not educated, you are misinformed. Because explain to me why, I think last week in Nigeria, a professor was sent to jail for forging the election results for the current Senate president. Why would someone that go to school do something like that? Why? I think it's miseducation. And when it comes to business, you know how we say, I want to do this, I like to do this, but it will not pay. So let me go and do this so that I will get a job. Thank you. Let's talk about job. How are jobs created? Jobs are created from businesses. How are businesses created? Businesses are created by people that are creative, that are able to create. Isn't it funny how you probably need all these qualifications to get a job, but all it takes to create a business is creativity, ability to solve a problem. And it's funny how I don't really remember the school teaching you how to develop that skill that will make you create businesses. Instead, it prepares you to do a job, which is beautiful, by the way. But the thing is, if you have a creative mindset, even when you are doing a job, you are not doing it just because of the pay. You will do it because you want to solve a problem, truly. So it's like it's a disconnect. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be disconnected. That's where I'm coming from. And that's the miseducation. And thankfully, in the online coaching business space, the most successful, lucrative, and effective value is education. But guess what? This education is not coming from the traditional school system that prepares you to work. It's coming from experience. I feel like coaching is actually the real education. I'm saying this not because I hate education. I studied education. I'm an educator. I have one child, sometimes thousands of children. I said, this is off, this is wrong, because no two child is the same. And I kept advocating that one-on-one coaching or personalized training is going to be the remedy for education, because the way we are going, something is seriously off. And that's, my friend, lack of experience. Ignorance is nothing at all. Like darkness. And you know why ignorance is dangerous? Deception is lie. This thing is not true. This thing is not straightforward. But ignorance will take anything you bring to it and run with it as if it were truth, and will be very, very loud and bold. An ignorant person that is running with a lie will be bolder than somebody that is aware of the lie and is acting, trying to convince you that that thing is true. And we have been ignorant for far too long. But thankfully, this is the age of knowledge. This is the age of awareness. The problem, however, could be when there is too much information and too much automation that you don't sit down to think and study. You don't memorize. You don't engage your mind anymore. So it does not become a part of you. So it is still like ignorance. Ignorance is absence of information, darkness. Ignorance can also be overabundance of information without access, without having an experience with it. So do not be ignorant. And you see, when you are done with being ignorant, you realize that every day will become a new experience, an opportunity to learn. You will be learning so fast. You will reawaken the capacity of your brain. I have a toddler. This my child. She's like, her brain records everything. Everything you sing, she will sing it. When she's singing a hymn, for example, you remember when you're singing a hymn in church, because the lyrics are plenty, you might have to hold a hymn book or look at the lyrics on the screen to remember. This girl remembers everything. And I'm telling myself, why will this little child remember everything without looking at a book? She cannot read, obviously. She's still 2. And I realized that our brain, the capacity of our brain is so underutilized. And that, my friend, is a symptom of ignorance. So I want you to take a decision today to reawaken your brain and maximize the capacity of your brain. Did you know that you never forget anything you've learned or anything you've heard, but you may not have a good way of recalling it? Please do not allow your brain to be dormant and gather cobwebs. Clean it up, exercise it, get it to work so that you would escape ignorance and begin to see clearly. Let's move to the fifth. The fifth one is selfishness. So, why selfishness can prevent you from seeing clearly is you are seeing one perspective, which is yours. You are not seeing all the sides. And when you bring that into the business space, you are doing this thing because of what it will benefit you. You reduce the opportunity that is possible for you. I have been in the music space for the longest time, but when I go to competitions and I do well, and when I sing in church and people clap and start giving me all these accolades and suggesting all these beautiful aspirations, you're going to win a Grammy and all that, it shifts my mind from what I'm supposed to focus on, which is my creativity, to my status and identity. That is selfishness. When I figured it out, I'm like, oh my gosh, so why am I singing? So ask yourself this question. Just attach it to anything that is your interest or your passion. So for my own song, why do I sing? Not what am I singing? Because you could be singing all the right things, but what is the why? Why am I singing? When I realized I did not really ask that question very well from the perspective of another person's benefits. Now, let me tell you something about selfishness. Selfishness is such a short, like it's myopic. Selfishness makes you Or let me put it this way. You see the golden rule. Love your neighbor as yourself. It's different from love yourself as your neighbor. It's a huge difference. It sounds like similar stuff, but it's different. To thrive online, in business and everything that life has to offer, if you think about it from a perspective of another person and then relate it back to you, you will see the full picture. How do you know you love yourself? By loving another person. You cannot just love yourself by yourself, only you. I'm loving myself, self-love. I'm not saying that self-love is bad. I'm talking about selfishness here. So, if you can show another person love, that is how you prove to yourself and it becomes clear that actually you have love. Because guess what? Love is not a feeling. The Bible says the fruit of the Spirit. Love is a fruit. And if love is a fruit and you have love to give, that means you are like a tree. You are producing the fruit. A tree does not eat its fruit. So when you give love, what happens? You continue to produce more. But when you don't even give love at all, do you have love? Think about it. So that's what selfishness does. It makes you unaware. It just blocks that creative vision. So now, I want you to apply it. You're on social media. Why are you on social media? To post your birthday pictures? Is there something you can do on social media that can help somebody else? If you can figure this thing out, like we are done. I can just close my phone and we are done for this live. I think you get the picture. All right. So that is selfishness, which is different from self-obsession. So self-obsession is slightly different. So according to, I googled self-obsession. So self-obsession shows here as the state of being excessively preoccupied with oneself, one's own thoughts, feelings, and interests, often to the exclusion of others. See, the thing is, one of the problems we have with online businesses that is born from self-obsession. You might not be a selfish person, but you're self-obsessed. You romanticize the idea of, oh, this thing is good. This thing works for me, it's going to work for you. No. Just because you have a solution, you cannot provide that solution from your point of view. You have to provide that solution from the point of view of your clients. For example, I have been a music teacher for over 10 years. But when I was able to finally figure out who my target audience is and had a conversation with them, I realized that what they were willing to exchange money for, what was valuable for them, was not just the music knowledge, but what they are going to experience after gaining the music knowledge. So if I was focused on, oh my God, keep your hand like this, oh, you're going to look good, like all the things that appeal to me, I would have not seen the complete picture, the entire picture. My picture would have been myopic because I'm self-obsessed. It's all about me. But when I flipped it and started from you back to me, I made thousands of dollars working 5 hours a week. No. 2.5 hours. I was going for 5 hours, but I just had 5 students and I taught them 30 minutes per week. Story for another day. I am really, really interested in sharing how you can achieve creative freedom and start a coaching business online. You don't even need to announce yourself as a coach, but you become someone that is creating and posting on social media for the benefit of somebody. So you are like that person's coach. It doesn't matter what you're doing, even if you are singing, you are doing comedy, whatever it is you're doing. And if you go to my website, auspicious.com, I will guide you, give you like a 4-day launch plan. Okay, let's get back to what could be preventing your creative vision from getting the complete picture. After self-obsession, finally, is the absence of power. And this one hurts me so much because this is one of the things that you cannot ultimately control. So, if there is no power, no matter the amount of bulbs in this room at night, I will not be able to see. So, absence of power, this one has to do with the government of the day. The government of the day can make laws that will prevent you from having economic power. For example, in Nigeria, a lot of payment gateways were shut down, affecting businesses. There is a lot of embargo on trading between African countries. We are here talking about white man, racism. Can we get the government or get into government and make the kind of laws that will allow for free trade within African country? So when it comes to absence of power, that can really, really reduce the amount of possibilities that you see for yourself. Take, for example, when I spent a significant amount of my time in Cross River State, Calabar. When I was in Calabar as an entrepreneur, sharing posts on social media, doing my own personal business, I had a music school. So I kept thinking how I can reach the people in Cross River State. So my highest aspiration was restricted to my state. I did not see beyond my state. And then I moved to Lagos. When I moved to Lagos, I noticed that in Lagos, everybody's thinking about how to reach the nation. Before I moved to Lagos, I was already supplying piano to people in Port Harcourt, Akwa Ibom State, Calabar. But I wasn't thinking, in Abuja too, but I wasn't thinking nationally. When I got to Lagos, suddenly it was like national. Everybody there was talking about the nation. Everybody talked about national reach. So that means there is something about that place and the economy of that place, the power, what powers business in that place that makes you see the possibility of reaching the entire nation. Guess what? When I moved to the United States, I saw global reach as the topic. Everyone that is here that is doing a business, it's easy for them to envision global reach. They have payment gateways that can collect money online for businesses all over the world. No wonder people from other countries, even if you are in another country, you can open a business in the United States and have global presence. So that power, what you can start to fix that power issue, so that what you can do today to fix that power issue, so that you will not restrict your creative vision, is take your business online. Take the version of your business that you're doing physically can have an online version. And I promise you, the most scalable online version of your business that cannot be restricted by Trump's tariff or by trade embargo between African countries beefing each other or anything is coaching. That thing that you are doing, have a coaching version of it that you can share online. I noticed that whatever you're passionate about and you're able to communicate it, thankfully, because of this modern coaching industry that is valued at 20 billion USD and has great potentials and great growth potential. One thing it does is it gives you authority, because the highest power you can have is authority, and that authority is also called thought leadership. I used to look for permission, validation, certification to be able to do what I already am good at. Why? Because I did not value my perspective. So after I accumulated all the certifications and all the trainings, I finally realized my perspective is the only thing that can help me thrive online. So your thought leadership, everybody is cooking, everybody is singing, everybody is teaching social media, but you have a perspective. And this was supposed to be a conversation. I'm sure if you're in Nigeria, you're coming back from work, I don't want to stress your head. But if you have been trying to connect the dots, how can I have a thriving online business that will fuel my creative passion? This is me presenting the solution that I finally figured out to you. So quickly go to my website, auspicious.com. I'm going to put it on the show notes or in the description if you're watching on YouTube. And you can just go there and get your 4-day launch plan. So in 4 days, you're going to start creating as a coach, whether you call yourself a coach or not. But you're going to be a coach that creates content online so that you can have authority to recommend. Now, it's going to be easy for you to recommend a product and earn affiliate income than for you to produce that product and start shipping it with all this embargo. This keyboard I'm playing here, I've recommended it to a number of people. Each purchase gives me $25 without any effort. I don't do any shipping, nothing. And why would they buy from me? Because they know I play the piano. That's one income stream. I have students that I teach. 2 income streams. I teach them on Zoom. I don't have any physical students. So no Trump tariff or embargo can stop me, or if there's no transportation from one place to the other from having students that I can teach online. That's the second income stream. The third income stream, which surprisingly opened up to me. So I've been running a music business for some time. That's evolved over the years. But I did not know that I was honing a skill which is going to help people in the creative industry create their own coaching businesses. Until I had a conversation. Some of the businesses I do that give me money, it's just a conversation. I'm having a conversation with somebody and then they're talking about their problem. People have problem, but do you have solution? When you have a solution, stand by. When people are presenting that problem, you tell them, okay, if I do this and do this and do this and do this and do this for you to solve that problem, how much are you willing to pay? That is when you will start hearing money that you didn't know existed. People will pay you. My highest paying clients that paid me $1,000 in a month is not even a music client. It's a business client that I used my business system to help. So this thing, it just opens up. When you are, when you find what makes you thrive, I call it what makes you thrive. I'm going to discuss it in subsequent editions. It opens income streams for you. You will do one thing and you will unlock at least 4 income streams. 4. So just go to auspicious.com and get your free 4-day launch sequence, so that by next week, hopefully, you would have a 1-sentence description of the job that you do that is powered by the creator economy. So now that I've spelled out the things that prevent you from seeing clearly, I'm going to show you the step-by-step on how to achieve clarity. So number 1 is curiosity. You see, when you have questions, don't sweep it under the rug. Questions are like the first opportunity for you to see what you didn't see before. So keep asking questions, keep being curious. And the second step is study. So don't just ask questions and stop, because you can receive answers from anybody and anywhere that could work and could not work. But you need to study. How did they come about this answer? It's in the Bible. Which portion of the Bible? What is the context? Because some people will just lift one verse and quote it out of context. What is the context of scripture that validates this? So study. And then the third step is experience. So when you study something, I say, hey, wow, this thing worked for Jesus. Wow. Experience. This thing worked for my pastor. Your pastor's experience is not your experience. You have to experiment, try it. And when you experience, what happens is you now make a decision. This thing works. This thing does not work. When you make a decision and choose what works, start to practice. That's how it becomes your character. That's how it becomes part of you. And so today is me taking a decision to practice something. Let me tell you my curiosity. So, I went live on TikTok about 2 weeks ago. In fact, I did not expect that thing to work. I saw a post, first of all, if you do not have up to 1,000 subscribers on TikTok, do this and you will go live. And I've been waiting to have 1,000 subscribers on TikTok, even though I'm not serious. I've not posted for a long time, I'm not serious. So, but I was hoping that, when I start posting and I have 1,000 subscribers, I'll start going live on TikTok, because live videos are the easiest to make. As a mom, with my toddler, she's a handful. She's everything. Like, I can just dedicate every 24 hours to focus on her. That's enough for me. I won't have the time to do video edits. So going live was it for me. So when I saw it, it looked like a scam. But I was curious. I said, okay, let me go and watch if there are more people that have something to say about this. Because don't just rush head first. Don't just go and chuck your head inside water when you don't know how to swim. Learn how to swim first. So I watched many videos repeating the same thing. I said, okay, if this thing has worked for a number of people, okay, let me experiment. Step number 3. So I experiment. I experimented and it worked. So when it worked, I was surprised. I'm like, oh my God, I'm live. I'm really live. So I started playing the keyboard. So while I was playing the keyboard, people were joining. I started singing. And while I was singing, I started feeling weird. That weird feeling, thankfully, I am spiritually aware to know that when you feel weird, it's an indication of something. And one of the best things that you can do is to pray. And prayer can just be a speech when you're speaking from a place of authority. So I started praying. I'm like, I don't know who is feeling the way I'm feeling, but I'm going to pray for you that you will be free. And while I was praying, it was like something suspended my thoughts. I started speaking, but I still had the ability to turn it off. It was not compulsive. So I started saying things like what people were going through. I have never seen myself exhibit the gift of prophecy. But that tells you that there is something that you can do to activate something. Now, I didn't want to just live that life. I wanted to at least do something for the people that are turning up, that are joining my life, to appreciate them. So I focused on them and I was able to feel their energy. So that told me something. There is something that happens when we go live and we connect together. It's not random. There is actually a force field. Something is a magnetic field. A lot can happen. And I'm like, what is the greatest challenge I've faced as an online creator? The greatest challenge I've faced is motivation, encouragement, that drive to go on. So I said, if it is possible to go online and drive such engagement and connect with people and encourage them so that they will not experience what I've experienced all this while, that I keep trying and failing and giving up because I lack motivation, that would help somebody thrive in their business. I said, okay, let me start Truth Amplifier. So something that worked for me in TikTok after all the curiosity study experience helped me take this decision. So today is day 1 of my practice. I'm going to continue to practice. I have a lot of excuses in my head, like I am not a good speaker and so on and so forth, but I am willing to start practicing today so that I'll become better. I hope this has helped someone. So finally, I'm going to repeat the song I started with. If you didn't join, don't worry, I got you. This is a brand new song that I just wrote. I wrote it on Friday when I was preparing for this live. So the title of today's episode is Open Your Eyes. So sometimes I don't just use words to pray, I use songs. So I came to the piano to sing and play a prayer. And instead of singing, Open the Eyes of My Heart, Lord, that I had prepared to play, I I just felt this surge of inspiration. So I brought my phone. I quickly recorded what I was playing and I posted it on Instagram to just commit myself and said, I'm going to improve on this song and perform it on Monday. So the song is not ready. I mean, I've not recorded it, I've not produced it, but it's a beautiful song and I want to end this live with the song. Ouch. So I disconnected my keyboard to fix my phone when my phone battery was running down earlier. So now I'm going to remove my phone battery, my phone charger, and connect my keyboard. All right, I've connected my keyboard. Let's do that song one more time and end this live. How can I see in the darkness? Look around and all I perceive is a shadow. I want to know what the truth is, then my heart can be satisfied. Take away the veil, let the light shine to the mountain top, let it be a sign until the night is done, until I see the sun. Take away the veil, let the light shine to the mountain top, let it be a sign until the night is done, until I see the sun, until the night is done, until I see the sun. Hey, thank you so much. We did it. Today is day 1. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Hi, thank you so much. I really appreciate your presence here.